You found it. Your home for the best content on your favorite team, the Fighting Tigers of LSU. Do us a favor, subscribe to the channel, leave your comments below, and be sure to smash that like button. Football Tigers back on the practice field Tuesday. Brian Kelly, man of his word, allowed us to watch the entire 2-hour workout. There were two 11-on-11 team periods, and in one of them, they actually progressed the football. They had down and distance markers, officials, all that stuff. The other one was sort of situational. We got to see some 7-on-7s, a lot of individual, and they did work a good bit on special teams. Spoiler alert, they still got a problem at punter. I was standing next to Cobble. And Badger Hargett, Booms won about, great name. Booms won about 60 yards, right? He's standing at about his 15. Takes the snap, booms it. I'm like, well, they're due for a 90-degree angle to go into the parking lot at the softball field. A few minutes later, banged one off the fence on the Ponderosa. I shouldn't laugh. But anyway, that was only one of the moments. Yeah, I'll start here. Garrett Nussmeier had himself a day. He was straight on one today. If Garrett Nussmeier, hey, listen, I understand it is a Tuesday, practice number 6 of spring. You're not even halfway done with spring before you get to June workouts and then fall camp and then 12 football Saturdays and hopefully a long playoff run. But the thing about watching Garrett on a day like this is it's confirmation that all the things, the positive things people say about him, it's confirmation it's in there. It's like, oh. There was a play during 11-on-11s, and just for some context, where they're letting us watch this year is on the balcony of the new athletic training building, which is on the back of football ops. So we're on a balcony, so we're elevated. Now it limits what we can see because we can't really see on the far fields anymore, or not closely anyway. But, like, for example, where we're standing on the field where they're doing the 11-on-11s, we're basically elevated and behind the offense. So it's basically like looking at an all-22. And there's a play where Garrett is being pressured. It's covered. He steps up. He starts rolling right, extending the play, and you're saying to yourself, throw it away, throw it away, throw it away, throw it away. He doesn't throw it away. Instead, he throws it to on the run, throws to the right sideline, and it's double covered. It's Chris Hilton. It's double covered. But somehow he threads the needle over the corner, under the safety, Hilton falling out of bounds, drags the feet, completed pass, and you're like, man, that sort of thing is just special. He hit Destin Hill on a go ball down the left sideline during 11-on-11s, which was that was 7-on-7s when he did that. Also in 11-on-11, another beautiful pass, similar, rolling to his right, and it's about a 10-yard out for Xavier Thomas, and by the time Thomas turned around, the ball's hitting him in the zero. It was just a really impressive day. The one blemish for Garrett was in 11-on-11. Forgive me, it was in 7-on-7. Austin Osbury intercepted him, but it wasn't Garrett's fault. He threw it over the middle. It tipped off the receiver's hand, got tipped twice by DBs. It was a tip drill, and then Austin Osbury came up with the pick. But I'm telling you, it was a really good day for Garrett. A couple of things, as Brian Kelly said, they're continuing to rotate positionally. One very notable change on Tuesday is that Cohen Eccles was running with the first team at right guard. That had been Bo Bordelon up until this point. So left to right was Tyree Adams, as we've seen, at left tackle. Paul Mabenga at left guard. DJ Chester at center, although Chester and Braylon Moore are rotating with the ones at center. It was Cohen Eccles, first team right guard, and then Weston Davis, first team right tackle. The first 11-on-11 period, Nick Anderson, Aaron Anderson, Barry Brown were your receivers. In the second 11-on-11 period, it was Chris Hilton, Xavier Thomas, and Aaron Anderson were the first receivers. On Saturday, the first team defensive ends were Jack Pyburn and Gabe Relaford. Today, when they went 11-on-11, the first team defensive ends were Jamari Butler, the Nebraska transfer, and Patrick Payton, the Florida State transfer. So you're seeing some rotation there. On Saturday, the first-team corners were Ashton Stamps and Jakeem Jackson. Today, we saw Mansour Delane and Ashton Stamps with the first team at cornerback in the first 11-on-11 period. So we saw Deshaun Spears get some run with the ones in the second 11-on-11 period. All that to say, listen, you shouldn't take anything away, like any wide-reaching takeaway here. Only that when Brian Kelly says, don't make anything of the rotation, I believe him, because I think they're trying to get a lot of looks at a lot of guys in a lot of spots to see who's going to be best where. I will tell you something that I think we can definitively say at this point is they are going to run a ton of 2 tight end sets with Trey'Dez and Bauer Sharp. And listen, they were running a short yardage period offensively where Sharp and Trey'Dez were both attached on the left side. So you had Tyree Adams, Bauer Sharp, Trey'Dez all hand in the dirt on the left side. We've seen where Bauer Sharp is attached and Trey'Dez is flexed out. We've seen Sharp attached on the left side, Trey'Dez as the H-back on the right side. I mean, there is really no shortage of options, but you are going to see 10 and 14 on the field together a lot. Couple of other notes from today. With the second offensive line, Ori Williams was running at left guard. That had been Solomon Thomas up until this point. Today, Thomas, I do not know if this was discipline or what, but there was a chunk of practice during the individual periods where he was on a completely separate field with a GA or one of the staffers pushing a sled and basically working individually by himself. So, this was so that was one change. But it was good to see Ori Williams back. Ori Williams was not at practice on Saturday, at least not participating that we saw. A couple of other notes from practice. I should note that there were a couple of other interceptions. Michael Turner, the last play of practice, Michael Turner had an interception on a deep ball thrown by Michael Van Buren. And it was interesting because it was a deep ball down the left sideline, and it was Berrien Brown and Michael Turner. And it looked like Brown was going to make the adjustment back to the ball. They kind of fought over it, going to the ground, and going to the ground, Turner pulled it away from him and ended up with an interception. We also saw Deshaun Spears come away with an interception during 7-on-7s. So I think that was off of Michael Van Buren. I'm looking at my notes. Forgive me, y'all. I'm pretty sure it was off Michael Van Buren, but it might have been Juwan Johnson, but I think it was Van Buren. We also got to see a good bit of offensive line, defensive line matchups, the one-on-one pass rush drill, and then they also did a 3-on-3 drill. So center guard tackle against tackle and linebacker, left side, right side. And by and large, y'all, the offensive line dominated that drill. And I was pleasantly surprised because my biggest question and concern about this team is replacing 4 starters on the offensive line. Now, you had some pretty impressive wins in the one-on-ones by the defense. Both Sean Washington and Dom McKinley had very impressive wins, both over DJ Chester. Sadir Mitchell abused Ori Williams on one rep. But then there was moments where, by the way, Sadir Mitchell also had a nice win over Paul Mabenga. So Sadir Mitchell, they got him listed at like 355. That's generous, y'all. He is massive, and he has a problem. He's a tough man to move. But Tyree Adams won back-to-back reps over Gabe Relaford. Listen, Gabe Relaford's awesome. He may end up being a starter on this team. And Tyree Adams, you're hoping, is going to be your left tackle. Well, Adams stonewalls Relaford. They make him go again. Boom, stonewalls him again. So those are the types of things where I look and I go, who would I rather win that rep? Because it's like, if the offense wins it, are you happy for the offense or are you disappointed in the defense? It's always kind of the inner conflict when you see the good on good with the intra-squad work. But that's one where I really want the offense, especially the offensive line, to be doing well. And because you've got a lot of veteran players that you've brought in on that defensive line at end, tackle with Mitchell, who we just mentioned, I think Don McKinley and Ahmad Bro are going to be really good. You're going to get Jacoby and Guillory back. So I really want to see this offensive line coming along, and they were really good today. I'd say won the day over the defensive front. But the flip side of it is, when we watch the 11-on-11 periods, for example, I charted every play. If you want to see, by the way, I have at louisianasports.net. It's right there at the top of the homepage if you want to see it right now. It's the spring football practice report. The full thing is written out there. If you want to see it, you can check it out. It's all my notes. And I do have the play-by-play from the 11-on-11 period. So if you want to go check it out, you can see it's all right there in detail. So, there was a circumstance where you got to a 4th and 3, and Devon Keys brings pressure on Nussmeier. Nussmeier has to step up with a guy draped on his legs, just throws over the middle and complete on a 4th and 3. That's a win for the defense. So there were individual moments from the offense where you look and go, man, that is really impressive. In total, I think the defense is coming along, and if I have one big takeaway through 6 practices, it's the talent on the defense is unmistakable. It is. I'm not telling you this is the. I'm not telling you this is the 2011 defense or the 2019 defense with all those first rounders. What I'm telling you is, it is very clear to any knowledgeable observer who's watched football. You go out and watch this team, you go, okay, this looks different than it did last year or the year before. Like they spent a lot of money to upgrade the talent. It's very evident. Now it's on Blake Baker and the staff to pull it all together. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.